What's up, guys? Jades Corner back here again for another Fantasy Fights matchup. And before we get into the video, I just gotta point out about 70% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you've been enjoying the content on the channel and you love watching these Fantasy Fights videos and you guys keep coming back for more, why not consider subscribing to the channel? It only helps me out. It'll help you out because you'll get more Fantasy Fights videos like this, and it'll help me out on the long run because we're trying to build the channel up to 10,000 subscribers by halfway through the year, and by the end of the year we're trying to reach the goal of 100,000 subscribers. So if you guys could help with that in any way, shape, or form, it'd be greatly appreciated. But with that out the way, time to get into the intro of this video. Now, today on Fantasy Fights, we have the original hybrid Niklaus Mikaelson versus all, and I mean all, of the Alpha Pack. Yes, from Teen Wolf. Deucalion, Kali, Ennis, and Ethan and Aiden. Who's coming out on top? Well, let's find out. First, we're going to start with Klaus. Now, Klaus is the original hybrid from the Vampire Diaries and the originals, and he is one of the strongest creatures in his universe, and he also is from the original family, which is also host to Elijah Mikaelson, Cole Mikaelson, Rebecca Mikaelson, Finn Mikaelson, Freya Mikaelson, Esther and Michael, and Dahlia and Hope Mikaelson as well. So yeah, whole bunch of powerful characters a part of that family. But that's Klaus in a nutshell. Let's get into his powers. Klaus has all the powers of an original vampire, which are way stronger than a normal vampire's powers. And he also has the powers of the original hybrid, which kind of negates the original vampire part, so just ignore what I said about that. But he has the abilities of a vampire and a werewolf. That's what I meant to say at the start, my fault. But let's get into it nonetheless. So he has superhuman strength, speed, agility, senses, durability. Did I say durability twice? I meant to say agility. Don't know if I said durability twice, or I was kind of just speeding through. I didn't really pay attention. But he also has extreme advanced healing. He has an extreme advanced healing factor. He has immortality. He's immune to silver. He has transformation control due to being a hybrid, and hybrids in the Vampire Diaries can control their transformations. He has mind compulsion. He has a deadly bite, which he is also the cure for. And he has the ability to move his consciousness to another person's body through the use of another witch, which I think is one of his coolest powers ever, honestly. And his feats include: he can beat most of the originals, but sometimes has trouble with Michael and Elijah. He can control any vampire outside of his family. He killed all of the 5 who were supernatural hunters enhanced with magical abilities, who were specifically made for killing vampires and original vampires in order to kill Silas, who is more powerful than Klaus. So the fact that Klaus was able to kill all of them is absolutely insane as well, because the 5 are nothing to be played with. They're some of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous hunters in all of that universe. And he killed his army of hybrids. He killed Reina Cruz. He fought Marcel's army of vampires. He beat Michael, and he killed Lucien, although Lucien wasn't the beast at this time. Freya had stripped him of the power, but Klaus killed him nonetheless, because, and that, I think that's an impressive feat because Lucian is almost as old as Klaus. So yeah, but that's Klaus in a nutshell. And his only weakness is magic sometimes and the white oak stake. So if Klaus is killed by the white oak stake, or he's incapacitated through magic or desiccation, then those are his only weaknesses. So not that many weaknesses for Klaus. Klaus is actually, he's got a pretty good track record, not gonna lie. Now we move on to the interesting part of the video, the Alpha Pack. Now, the Alpha Pack were the secondary antagonist of Teen Wolf Season 3 Part 1, and Deucalion was their leader, and Deucalion is the most powerful alpha werewolf we see on Teen Wolf, but he's not the most powerful werewolf. That goes to the Beast of Jevodan. Deucalion is definitely the second most powerful werewolf we see for sure. Now, let's get into the pack members. First, we're going to talk about Ennis. Now, Ennis possesses the typical werewolf abilities, although they are augmented due to him killing all of his betas and stealing their power, which made him stronger as an alpha, along with the other two members of the Alpha Pack I'm going to mention later on after this. Now, his feats include he fought evenly and sometimes had the upper hand with Derek. He killed all of his betas, as mentioned before, and became vastly stronger. So not that many feats. Ennis is the Alpha Pack member we see the least, because he died earlier on in Season 3 Part 1, so we didn't really get to see that much of him. But that is Ennis in a nutshell. Next is Kali. Now, Kali is the second in command of the Alpha Pack, and her powers also are the same as Ennis's. She has the typical werewolf powers, but they are augmented as well because she also killed all of her betas. And her feats include she killed all of her betas, as mentioned before. She killed Erica. She beat Derek in every encounter they had. She whooped his ass like 3 times. And she nearly killed Jennifer Blake the first time around before letting her survive, which led Jennifer Blake to eventually become the Rock and the main antagonist of Season 3 Part 1 later on in the events of the timeline of the show. Now, we're going to move on to probably the most interesting members of the pack, Ethan and Aiden, who possess the typical werewolf powers that we see throughout Teen Wolf, although theirs are not augmented because they killed all of their betas before becoming alphas, so they weren't able to take advantage of the power gain that the other alpha members have. But that doesn't really mean shit because they have this ability. They are able to fuse into one big gigantic werewolf, which wasn't taught to them until they encountered Deucalion, which is the reason they killed all of their betas in the first place and ended up killing their alpha and becoming alphas themselves, obviously becoming more powerful. And their feats include they never lost to anyone outside of Jennifer Blake throughout the entirety of Season 3 Part 1 when they were in that merged werewolf form. Which means they were able to beat Scott, Peter, Isaac, and Derek, which is insane because they're all very strong in their own right. Now we move on to the most powerful member of the Alpha Pack, and the member everybody's been waiting for the most, Deucalion. And his powers include the typical werewolf powers, although augmented as well, like Kali and Ennis. And his feats include he killed all of his betas as well. He stomped on, like completely murdered, it wasn't even a contest, and amplified Jennifer Blake, who had caused the deaths of 12 people and needed the sacrifices of 12 people in order to just be on par with Deucalion. And even then, she was getting absolutely mollywopped. The only reason Deucalion even lost was because the lunar eclipse had conveniently occurred and every werewolf wasn't able to use their powers. They were all weak during that 15-minute time limit for the lunar eclipse, allowing Jennifer Blake to get the upper hand, which I think was some bullshit because if that lunar eclipse didn't happen that night, Jennifer Blake definitely would have been dead for sure, along with Derek. So yeah, he stomped on and amplified Jennifer Blake and Derek Hale. He showed the ability to have super speed as he got to Scott McCall from one side of the little factory they were in to another side within 0.5 seconds. It was an insane speed feat. He's definitely the fastest creature we've seen besides the Nobitsune for sure. And he was able to instantly make Scott shift even more than Alpha Peter did. When Alpha Peter made Scott shift, Scott was struggling a little bit, but when Deucalion did it, Scott didn't struggle at all. He transformed within seconds. It was crazy. So Deucalion is definitely a beast. But who's coming out on top? Now, who do I think would win? Honestly, the Alpha Pack has a lot going for them. They have members who are really strong, but Klaus has way more experience, plus he is a genius level tactical fighter, and Klaus fights to kill even more so than the Alpha Pack does, and the Alpha Pack definitely fights to kill as well, but Klaus, I think, is more bloodthirsty than any of the Alpha Pack members, because Deucalion, he was a killer, but he reformed his ways after Season 3 Part 1, so he kind of put that side behind him. So he's a killer, but he's not as much of a killer as Klaus. Klaus has been killing people for centuries. So, yeah. Who do I think would win? Well, I think that Klaus would take out Ennis and Ethan and Aiden if they don't fuse relatively quickly. Ennis he would take out without a heartbeat, because Klaus has the speed advantage and he has the durability advantage for sure. This dude can only, if you stake him through the heart, he can come back to life. As long as it's not White Oak stake, Klaus can't die from being staked in the heart. We saw this in Season 2 when Stefan staked Elijah and Elijah came back to life like it was nothing. So, yeah. Also, forgot to mention, I think, no, the daggers don't work on Klaus. So, we're gonna excuse me. I was trying to remember something. I was like, do daggers work on Klaus? No, they don't. But yeah, I think he would take out Ennis relatively quickly. Kali might be a problem because of her toenail claws and her claws on her fingers, and also the fact that she's one of the best melee hand-to-hand fighters there are in Teen Wolf. She uses a lot of martial arts in her fighting. So I think that Klaus would have maybe a little bit of trouble with Kali. I think he would be able to take her out too, because he's fought. Basically, Klaus has dealt with beings way more powerful than any of the Alpha Pack for sure. So I think that Klaus will be able to take all of them on. I think some of the members make pretty good cases for themselves, so that's why I'm kind of breaking down each little fight. But here's where I think Klaus is gonna kind of not struggle, but have issues with the most. I think he would have an issue fighting Ethan and Aiden when they're fused. If they're not fused, they die instantly. It's not even a problem because they're the weakest of the Alpha Pack individually. But fused, they're the second strongest right behind Deucalion. It's not even a contest or an argument. So I think that Klaus would have a little bit trouble dealing with that. But as we saw with beings like Jennifer Blake, one snap to the neck and they were done. So I think if Klaus can kill them as quickly as possible, Ethan and Aiden get taken out as well, which only leaves the most powerful member, Deucalion, left. Now, I think that Deucalion's super speed is on par with Klaus's, if not a tiny bit slower. And I say tiny in air quotes, because I do truly think that Deucalion in his fully transformed state is as fast as Klaus, if not a little bit, I mean a little bit slower. Because his super speed was ridiculous in that episode, Lunar Eclipse. But I don't know. I'd say honestly that Deucalion has the strength advantage, as he was able to send Jennifer Blake and Derek flying with a single swipe of his arm. And magic has no effect on this dude. Jennifer Blake was trying to use magic, and Deucalion didn't even flinch at all. He just stood there and really just grinned and smirked. So Deucalion's really durable as well, like extremely durable in that form. So I think that he would definitely give Klaus the most money. But as we did see, his durability in terms of, well, I'm talking about Deucalion now, his durability didn't really hold up too well because Jennifer Blake was able to smash his head in and almost kill him. And Klaus can easily recover from something like that. So I think that Deucalion has the strength, and you could argue a little bit of the speed factor ahead of Klaus. But because Klaus is so much smarter than Deucalion, and because Klaus knows how to read his enemies from the start of fights and knows how to come up with plans instantly and learn how to take out his enemies, and because he's so ruthless with his fighting and the numerous skills he's acquired over the years and dealing with creatures stronger than the Alpha Pack, I do think that Klaus will be able to take out Deucalion eventually, although I think that fight would drag on for a little bit as well. And none of these guys would know about Klaus's weakness, so as they try to kill him, and when they do kill him and they see he comes back to life, they're going to be baffled. They're going to be like, how do we take out this dude? Klaus is not going to just tell them their weakness. He's going to keep that information to himself. So I think the Alpha Pack would have extreme trouble dealing with Klaus in terms of trying to take him out. But that's just my 2 cents on it. So Niklaus Mikaelson is the winner in this video. But who do you guys think would win, the Alpha Pack or Klaus Mikaelson? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you guys like this breakdown and this Fantasy Fights matchup, make sure you guys leave a like. Helps this video with the YouTube algorithm. It helps this video get out to more Teen Wolf fans and Vampire Diaries fans, so that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more Fantasy Fights matchups like this. I know you guys love these videos. You always comment. I always read your comments. I love you guys' comments. So continue to do that. And like I said at the beginning of the video, for the people that are unsubscribed watching this, that keep coming back and watching these videos, what the hell are you doing, bro? Subscribe to the channel. If you want more Fantasy Fights videos like this and you keep enjoying them, you keep coming back for the awesome content, subscribe and turn on post notifications. What are you doing with your life, bro? But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I'm Jades Corner. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity, and I'm out to stay. See you in the next one.